The Suzuki Vitara can seem like a forgotten car in a sea of small SUV rivals, but it's actually the granddaddy of the genre. It was first launched in the late 1980s, and its compact dimensions, chunky styling and value for money made it a really good hit. In fact, it inspired the very first Toyota RAV4, and that, along with the Vitara, kick-started the idea of what used to be called the soft roader. And whether you want to congratulate Toyota and Suzuki for all this depends on your perspective. But while these days the RAV4 is a rather large car, the Vitara remains comparatively small, and it focuses on value for money to help keep it competitive in a crowded marketplace that it played a big role in creating. The most common engine is a 1.4 litre turbo petrol, with cars from 2020 onwards being offered with a mild hybrid tech to help improve performance. There were also non-turbo 1.6 models and even a 1 litre turbo, but they're pretty rare. There's also a full hybrid model, but that was only introduced in 2022. So how does it do? Well, even though it's a small SUV, it has the traditional looks of a larger SUV. It's got a big bluff nose and slightly slabby sides. Inside, the traditional SUV vibe continues as you sit pretty high up, giving you a great commanding view of the road. And that doesn't often play out in small SUVs. There's also thin A-pillars here, which helps with visibility. And if you look over your shoulder, there are equally thin pillars behind you. And if that wasn't enough, there is also blind spot monitoring on all models. Impressive. Slightly less impressive is the fit and finish of the front passenger compartment. On first glance, it pays lip service to upmarket styling, looking a little Mercedes-like with these rounded air vents, but everything seems a little overly shiny, and the lightweight feel to most of the materials and controls completely removes any sense of a premium feel. These seats also lack a little support, which doesn't help with the budget vibe. That said, Suzuki Vitaras on the used market do offer good value for money. Generally speaking, you will pay less for an equivalent spec, mileage and age for a used Vitara versus, say, a Ford Puma or a Nissan Juke. In fact, take a look at the Motorpoint website now. No, do it at the end of this review and comment below and tell me what you find. The Vitara is also pretty well equipped, with most trim levels offering a reversing camera, while many versions get front and rear parking sensors too. All Vitaras get climate control plus a DAB radio with Bluetooth connectivity. In terms of trim levels, you've got the basic SZ4, and then you've got this one, which is the SZT, which adds a touchscreen infotainment system, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then if you go for the top spec, SZ5, you get extra goodies such as adaptive cruise control, keyless entry and automatic emergency braking. Another bonus of that boxy shape that we mentioned earlier is that you get quite a lot of space back here, certainly more than you get in a Ford Puma or a Nissan Juke. There is plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom. And in the back of this Vitara, we've got electric windows, privacy glass and cup holders. The boot isn't quite as generous as you'll find in many rivals. The Skoda Kamiq and Ford Puma in particular offer noticeably more space. At least there is this adjustable boot floor, so you can hide valuables. I think I'm going to need the keys actually, because I'm going to drive next. And you can adjust it, raise it up, no load lip. On the road, it's clear that the 1.4 litre turbocharged engine is popular for a reason. It has 140 horsepower. It's pre-hybrid, guys, and it feels gutsy enough to haul the car along, and it's pretty quiet at motorway speeds or a gentle cruise. The mild hybrid version actually has a little less outright power, but thanks to the boost of the hybrid system, you won't really notice that much difference in performance, even if you drive them back to back. Fuel consumption is a tad better in the mild hybrid version though, with official figures suggesting you can get close to 50 miles per gallon. This non-mild hybrid version is only a couple of mpg behind that. So in the real world, it's likely you'll get mid-40s out of either of them. But while the engine is quiet and fuel efficient, ride comfort is not the Vitara's strongest suit. It's rather firm and you can feel vibrations from rough surfaces through the car's floor. That might be forgivable if it was a joy to fling down your favourite country lanes, but sadly it isn't. There isn't much body lean, but it's just not as involved as, say, a Ford Puma. And if you want a small SUV that rides beautifully, then we'd recommend a Peugeot 2008 or a Skoda Kamiq. So here's the thing, 35 odd years after the Vitara was first launched and helped kickstart the whole small SUV thing, is it still worth a look? Well, it's not exactly class leading in any particular area, and there are better driving, better riding cars out there, but we really like it. It's smooth, reasonably economical, and it offers great value for money. If you fancy checking out some of the Vitara's rivals, including the Ford Puma and Renault Captur, check out our YouTube channel, where we review all sorts of cars, including some rather luxury vehicles. Well, Tim does anyway. I think I might send him a list, or perhaps you can help me. Put in the comments which vehicles you think I should be reviewing. And then like and subscribe and click on the bell icon.